Hi there, I'm Steve Brown, and I've got with me my colleague Ken Olling.
Hello.
What we're going to do in this session is show you a failure mode on the A65 and the mitigation for that failure mode. So when the A65 comes in its default configuration, it's equipped with a particular configuration, and that configuration can lead to a failure mode after a large number of cycles, so powering on and off of the turbine. And we're going to show you where that failure mode is, and then we're going to show you how we mitigate that, the mod that we can apply to the machine to mitigate the failure. So let's go inside. So what I'm going to show you first is we're going to cut away the turbine so you can see half of it. So there we go. The failure mode is actually in this region here that I'm highlighting now. So what happens is that over a number of cycles, the friction bearing, the friction interference fit here fails. And that fails because of a bleed air that we feed into the turbine at startup causes an expansion of the outer casing compared to the inner casing that can lead to a slippage. So we're just going to show you how that happens and show you in more detail how we modify that. So I'll just take away and go back to full mode. Okay, Ken, could you turn on the gas visualization?
Yeah. There we go.
So what you see here is that we take a bleed off from this point on the turbine here, and it's hot air that's coming through, and it comes down to this point on the piping, and half of the feed goes off that way and half of the feed goes this way. So the feed that comes this way, if I go down here and you see it, comes through what's known as the WACAC, and you can see here we've got it's water cooled. So there's a cooled water supply comes through, heats up as the gas cools down, and the hot air goes outside, and you can see that it streams all the way over to the right hand side to the cooling system that cools the water down, then we cool feed back again. And that continues. If I go back up here, that there continues and gets fed back in on this side of the turbine. But you can see that this hot feed here comes to the back of the turbine, and if we go up here, you can see that hot air comes in here, and then it's fed in through these pipes. And if I show you these pipes, you can see that that what they do is, if I go inside, this here is where the gas comes through. I'll just beam into the middle. And feeds in through here and goes into this that I showed you earlier on when we turned it in half, and it comes inside here and it heats up this casing around here. So that's the cause of the problem, the fact that we've got hot air coming into here and heating that up. After too many cycles, it causes a problem with the interference fit. So what we do, if you turn off the visualization on the pipes, Ken.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, and could you take away the turbine so we can just see the piping?
Yeah. You mean to take away everything else except for the piping?
Yeah. No, just the rotor as well. Take the rotor away.
Okay.
So now you see the piping. We can show you now which piping we modify. So if you go to just before the modification, and we can show the piping that we're removing red, yeah. So there's the piping that we take away. And then we replace it with new piping. If you show the new piping, Ken.
There we go.
We show this green piping here. So that's what we replace it with. And then if we go a little further forwards and turn back on the visualization, we can see how that's all changed.
You mean to turn on the visualization now?
Yep.
Then
And now you can see
Yeah.
it's completely cooled. So we've got the same cool air that goes in here is now fed in at the back there. And if we turn back on the turbine, So that cool air will now get fed through these pipes, back up where I pointed out before, where the drawings are, back inside of into this system and into this equipment that's around here. If you want to turn back on the rotor as well, Ken.
Sure. There we go.
You can see it comes into this part here. And that's the modification that we're going to apply. Now what that does is it removes the risk of failure of the turbine. So, if there's no further questions, I think we're done.
Great. Sounds good. Thanks.
Great.